Good morning, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Saturday Morning Makes. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I have to share with you today some cards using Dianna Marcum's latest recipe stamp club releases, which include this No Peak Beef stamp and many more. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But I also have some Christmas tags to share. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been uploading for Saturday Morning Makes, to everyone that uploads to Two Crafters, One Design with Mo, Lisa, and Gloria. I think this week they're doing My Creative Time projects. And then there's just a lot of people that we hadn't seen in a while. Mary Mickelson did an upload last week. Hello, Mary. Our best to you and your husband. And then I wanted to welcome Polly again. I had mentioned her on a previous video a few days back. But everybody that's new, I want to welcome you in. And then to everybody that, uploads fairly regularly. Hello to Miss Seashell's Crafty Cabana. I saw that you had a video up this morning. I haven't watched it yet. Susan Tootsie Tucker has a video up this morning with Boyd's Bears projects. I love bears. I think Vicky, who is TryHard67, has a video up this morning. And then Gail Bakes Creates uploaded some beautiful thank yous. And then last week, Crafty Bean, Tina, she did a bunch of tags and cards, and I fell in love with her Santa tags and the beautiful vintage stamp that she used for those. I think it was a Hero Art stamp. And I just, so many fun things. Edwina has been making house ornaments. And I know she shared a tutorial last week. The Gift Diva did an upload this morning, I think, and she's working with a challenge for Christmas cards. I think it's the CCC 2023 Christmas Card Challenge or something like that. So lots of challenges out there, lots of fun stuff. I just want to thank everybody that participates both on Instagram, Facebook, with the Facebook group that Jana helped set up, and just everybody that uploads beautiful projects. All of the beautiful cards that I get to see over on Instagram, as well as Christmas tags and projects, crocheting from Mindy and others. It's just so fun to see what everybody's making. My friend Susan Laverty has been back posting some things. Hello to Susan. And I also know that it was Gigi's birthday the other day, and I'm hoping to get a card in the mail, Gigi, but I'm running late. I had a really tough week this week, you guys, and I'm just really happy to have time to create both last night and this morning, and just to take a breather and enjoy doing something different. So I actually made quite a few things. I'm going to dive in, and I just want to thank all of you for making Saturday Morning Makes part of our busy lives and taking a little bit of time out of your schedule for yourself to create and do something that feeds your soul, whatever that is: gardening, taking a walk, going to the beach, or creating, which is one of my favorite things to do other than my garden. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to start by showing you the products that I used. Okay, and I'm going to start, I know all these cards are showing and I'll get to them, but I'm going to start with the Christmas tag that I made because it is Christmas in July, and I like to hashtag my projects Christmas Makes 2023 so that you'll be able to find all of my Christmas tags, as well as anyone else that uploads to that hashtag. You'll be able to see all of the Christmas Makes in one spot. So the hashtag is Christmas Makes 2023. So this is the die that I use this week for my Christmas tags. And this is called the Small Baked Bread Die. And there is another die that's called the Large Baked Bread Die. And I have both of them. I should have brought both in, but I didn't. I just brought this one today. This one is slightly smaller in stature. And it does come with 3 pieces. It has the tag that you can use, the bread piece, and then the little pie tin, the little bread tin. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Or loaf tin, if you will. So this is die 1111R at Impression Obsession. And then the other thing that I used was this wonderful stamp set that Jeannie Strife made to kind of go with the dies that Anna created. And this one has lots of baking themed sentiments in it. It has baked fresh, baked with love. Happiness is a smell of home-baked bread, which I love. And nothing says home like the smell of something baking, which is so true. And then it has all of the different things that you can incorporate into bread and different types of bread. And so what I was trying to do specifically was to make some zucchini walnut bread tags and some pumpkin walnut bread tags, because those are the primary breads that we make in our family. Our zucchini bread does have pineapple in it, which is delicious too. But this pretty much tells them the main ingredients. And it's a little tag that my mom can use on the breads that she makes, or if I get time to make bread too. And then the other thing that I did use a sentiment from which is one of my very favorite stamp sets of all time. Many of you will know what this is. This is the Paper Tray Ink Friendship Jar Holiday Fillers stamp set. And this is one that I pretty much use every year at Christmas time also. Here's the information on the stamp set at Paper Tray Ink. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure they still offer this, but they may not. And it's one that I have used every year for many, many years. You can see that mine is stained in the case here. And this is actually the second set that I had to order because my first set got so worn out and I was missing stamps from it over the years. And so when this was on sale, I think it was 2 years ago, I ordered it when it was on sale for like 50% off or something during one of their sales. So this is a great stamp set to have, and it coordinates with mason jars and a bunch of other things. If you want to know more about that, leave me a comment and I can go into more detail on a separate video. But anyway, those are the products that I use to create my tags, and I'm going to go ahead and grab these so I can show them to you. These are the pumpkin ones that I did, and these are the pumpkin walnut breads. And what I did was I put the die together and glued it. So the bread went into the little slit that comes in the loaf pan. And I did ink all the edges. And then I stamped pumpkin walnut bread. I lined it up on my stamp block and stamped it all in one. And I just added a little holly. And then let me lay these down here. And then at the end of each one, I put a little tag from Lili of the Valley. And I forgot to bring these in here. But this is that same Baked with Love set from Lili of the Valley stamps. And I use that set and this particular stamp from that set to do the word yummy. And so that's what's at the end of each of these tags. And it's just tied on here with some crochet thread, okay, which I got at the thrift store. So they're very simple, very sweet tags. And then I just did them in a variety of colors. So here's one that's in a green pattern. And then here's one, this is more of a burgundy, and they all say the same thing, pumpkin walnut bread. And I just made a bunch of them so that I could share some with myself, but also some with my mom as a little gift for her. She's grieving the loss of my dad, as you guys know, and it's fun to just do little things that bring a smile to her heart. So I'm going to bring some of these over to her. So those are the pumpkin walnut bread ones. And then I also did a little bit of the zucchini walnut, okay? And I was wishing they had the word pineapple, but they didn't. So I did zucchini walnut because we also put walnuts in the zucchini bread. We also do pecans, but they didn't have pecans in the stamp set. But that's okay. You know, you use what you have. You could also handwrite this if you wanted specific ingredients on here, or you could type it into your computer and make a little tag that has more information, or even include the recipe either on the bread or on the back side that they could untuck it from the pan and leave the two unattached. But for my purposes today, I had lots of ideas, but I just wanted to do something simple. So these ones again say zucchini walnut bread and have the yummy sticker. And then I did one that was a little bit different, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. So I'll go through these first really quick. So you can see that I used two different gingham papers plus this style of paper too. So these were just papers I had. I always have some red and green papers ready for Christmas tags. And so that was what I used. And then the set itself, let me pull this out of here really quick. The set itself comes with this beautiful tag, and I wanted you to be able to see this tag. And so I put this one at the end on this one, and that Holiday Sweet Sentiment is from that Paper Tray Ink set, and it has one of my very favorite fonts of all times. I just love it. So that is what I did here at the end. I used the tag that the set comes with. Okay, so you could also do it that way if you have that Paper Tray Ink set. But again, on most of them, I use the LOTV baked with love. And you could even do both of these and have 2 tags if you wanted. But I was just trying to keep them fairly simple because I wanted to make a great many of them so I could share them. So those are my little Christmas tags for this particular Saturday Morning Makes and Christmas Makes 2023 episode. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing those. And let's move on to the Dianna Marcum Recipe Stamp Club for this month. And I will show you the products that I used to create these cards. So the first thing, of course, is the beautiful stamps. And let me use the back of this to show you. So these are the No Peak Beef Recipe Stamp Club and add-on. Okay, I love this little dairy farm, the little Daisy Farm milk can. And you're going to see that I cut the lid off the top of this to use it as a vase. And she has different flowers in here that you can use, and as well as a bow. So I'll show you how I did all that. You have the beautiful No Peak Beef recipe. This is a recipe that my mom used to make when we were growing up. I haven't had it in a while, but it is delicious. So these recipes, what's nice is these give you great ideas for meals for your family. And they're wonderful to make recipe books with. My friend Marilyn G made a wonderful recipe book, and so did Strawberry Cream 39 Jen. So you might want to check out their channels and see what they did, especially in the past year of the Recipe Stamp Club. But I still think that's a wonderful idea to just make a recipe book. And Dianna Marcum always does really wonderful shares in the Create It with Adornit Facebook page for Adornit. So you can see all the things that she creates with the stamps that she's giving us to create with, which is always fun. And Dianna always shares drawings too of what's coming. So it's always a neat place to go and see what she's doing either on the Create It with Adornit page or over on her Instagram feed. And then here we have this is a little cow image, and she's holding some daisies in her mouth. I love this little image. It's so cute. My friend Cynthia has already done some cards with this that I got to see. And I'm trying to think if I saw anybody else's projects yet. I don't think so, but I think Aya's Paper Crafts did some for this week's Saturday Morning Make, so I can't wait to see what Aya did. But be sure to check out all of the designers for Adornit, the new Stamp Ambassadors, and everybody, the ones that have been here. This is our 2nd year, which is Cynthia, Marilyn, Jen, and myself. And then the new people, I shared all of their YouTube channels in my community tab. So if you don't know who they are, you can go to my community tab. Off the top of my head, it's Gingham and Yarn. Oh gosh, I won't be able to remember all 4 of their channels, you guys. Aya, Britten, Gingham and Yarn. Oh my gosh, and there's 2 more, you guys. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But anyway, go to my community tab because you'll be able to find their channels if you haven't already subscribed. But I fell in love with this fresh milk stamp. And I just had so much fun with this one. You'll see. I love this image. I think it's absolutely adorable to color this. And then she's got the word milk, this little hey there bell, and then more flower stamps. And I think the only stamps I didn't end up using this time was the bell and this bigger word milk, which I think would be fun to do in a background with this. But anyway, those are the 2 main stamps for the Recipe Stamp Club this month. And then I also used the papers. And I'm not going to show you the remains of the papers that I cut up because I just have scraps left. But I did hold aside 4 complete papers to show you. And I should have taken them out of the plastic before I filmed. But this is my favorite one. I love this one. This is the cow print. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. And then on the back of that one is this beautiful gingham in this lovely earth tone. And then she did this beautiful all over daisy print paper. And then on the back side of that one is this stripe paper, and I used that. And then this is her stripe paper that she does. These are great for cutting up into strips to use on projects. You've seen me on my last video. I did a card where I just isolated all of these stripes and used this whole piece on a card. And that is a fun way to use this paper. And then the last paper, did I show you the back side of that one? I don't think I did. The back side of this one is a purple polka dot. And then this is my favorite paper other than the cow print. I love this paper just because it has all of these icons in it. It has the cow, it has the no peak beef cow, it has the word milk, it has the bell, it has the little milk bottle. And I love this white with kind of almost a deep gray tone. It's just a great paper. And then on the back of this one is this pink. And again, this has this textured print, almost like a canvas. And I love that one too. So I used all 4 of the papers, if I'm remembering correctly. I think I did. I used all 4 of them on my cards. And then I also pulled some scraps from my scrap bin to do one of the cards, just to mix in some other papers for fun. But let's go ahead and dive in. I wanted to show you 2 really easy cards, because I know some of you are brand new to card making. So one of the easiest cards you can make using these stamp set is to just take the fresh milk stamp. And this was the very first thing I did, is I pulled out just a regular A2 piece of white cardstock, and I just stamped across it 4 times with this stamp. And originally I was thinking I would just cut them out and make cards. But then when I saw the repetition, I thought, no, this is fun. I'm going to leave it. And I just took a stitched rectangle die from my Creative Time, and I just cut around the 4, and then I stamped the daisy at the top in 4 different positions. And then I just took my Memento Tuxedo black marker, and you can order these from Amazon if you don't have one. Let's see if I can find mine really quick. It just looks like this, okay? And what's nice, this is a dual marker, and it has a fine tip pen at one end, okay? And I use that fine tip pen to draw the lines for my daisy in kind of 4 different ways, okay? So the daisies are facing different directions, and this is the one that's most dramatic. And on this one, I did color it in and add just some little gemstones. And these clear gemstones are from Spellbinders. They're in their store now if you're interested. I think I got mine at Simon Says Stamp when I placed an order recently for a couple of Christmas items that are coming. Anyway, I just highlighted this one particular one to have it be the focal point within the row. Okay, so I added some coloring along it, as well as to the fresh milk part. And then the rest of them are all the same, except that they don't have the coloring. And it really makes this one pop out. And then you can see the beautiful Dianna Marcum paper that I used in the background. It's that pretty gingham. So if you need a quick card, this is a really easy card that you can make, and you really don't even need a die set, because you can just cut a bigger rectangle of the paper and then a slightly smaller rectangle where you've done your stamping on white cardstock. So I just think this is a really easy card to make, and I wanted to share a couple easy cards. And then this is the other one that's really easy. Now this one I used a Honeybee Stamps embossing folder, which is downstairs in my basement where I do my embossing. I forgot to bring it up, so I apologize for that. But it's a Honeybee Stamps floral embossing folder. I have shared this with you guys before, so you may own it yourselves already. And on this one, I just stamped 1 time on a smaller rectangle, and then I put the daisy in, added a line, and I also added just 1 little leaf with my pen. And that created the focal point. I added some purple and green coloring to just offset this green sparkle cardstock, which I got from the Dollar Tree. And this cardstock, just so you know, I had a little bit of a hard time cutting it with my die cut machine. I had to run it through a few extra times because this paper does have some backing on it. And so, but it does work beautifully, and I love the sparkle that this added. And that little leaf is colored the same tone as the background, as well as this here. It picks up on that, okay? So a very simple card. You're just embossing a panel, cutting this scallop layer, which is a scallop die from Trinity Stamps. If you're interested in purchasing this particular open scallop. But any scallop die, My Creative Time has beautiful scallops. Anyone that you want to use would work. And then just a little rectangle die, a very simple card to create. So these are my 2 easier cards. And I just wanted to give you some cards that were fairly simple to create for all the new card makers out there. And there's quite a few that have, from Adornit, I think especially there were people that were brand new to the Recipe Stamp Club and stamping. So welcome into stamping. I hope you enjoy it and have fun creating. And then this is the one that I pulled some papers from my scrap bin. And I wanted to do another card like this, but to kind of zhuzh it up a bit. So this one, I stamped the little fresh milk 4 times on 4 different little tiny scraps. And then I stamped it I stamped the center part of it that says fresh milk on white cardstock. I just tried to stamp just this part, okay? And I cut those out again, and I popped them up on pop dots to give them dimension. And then I did color them a little bit also. And one of them I colored all the way, and the others I just colored in the letters. Then this little straw that you see here, let me move that out of the way here. The little straw that you see on these is from the tall mason jar die from My Creative Time. Okay, and I just used the little straw stamp and I cut them in half. So I cut two straws, I cut them in half, and I just glued a straw to the back side down below, down here. I glued it on so that it would stick out at an angle. So now they each have a straw in them, and I thought that was really cute. And then one of the things that these stamp sets have that I just love, and Dianna does a wonderful job at this, is she includes little stamps that you can use to create backgrounds, to add detail to your cards. So these there's a lot of like little floral stamps. This is a daisy stamp that I used for the little daisies on the cards that I just showed you. And then there's this little daisy here. I hope these are showing up. But anyway, Dianna does a good job of sharing little stamps. And so I took the little border stamp and I just stamped it twice across the bottom and I colored it in. And then I used that little flower stamp with the 2 leaves, which I ended up cutting apart so that it's in 3 pieces now. It comes all as one piece, but because I wanted a placement around a corner, I just cut the stamp into pieces. And you can do that. Just take a sharp scissor, be really careful so that you make sure you're not cutting on the raised part of the stamp, just the border that goes around the stamps. And sometimes you can kind of pull on it a little bit as you're cutting to keep it apart so that you can cut them. But I cut these apart so that I could use them as a border at the corners. And I think that turned out so cute. And then this is the inside. I used that border again and colored it in. And I just added a little banner. And then I used the XOXO border dies from My Creative Time to make my layer on the inside. Okay, I love those XOXO border dies. They're a wonderful rectangle frame die set from My Creative Time. And then this one, I didn't do anything on the back. So those are the 3 fresh milk bottle cards. And I'll show you the inside and the back of this one. I didn't decorate the back of this one. I thought I decorated the back of one of them. There's the inside of this one. No, I guess I didn't. I did these ones really quick. So these ones, the backs are not decorated, but some of the other cards I'm going to show you are. So let's go on. Those are the fresh milk ones. And then I showed you this No Peak Beef card really quick. And again, I used those small stamps to go around the outside and just add some extra detail. I love all the little details of this cow. She's got the little bell on here. She's got a flower, the little bow back here in the back. And then all of these little flowers down on the hillside where she has the rest of the instructions. You can see the beautiful striped paper here, and I carried that over to the inside of the card with a little open scallop layer. This is from Trinity. And then on the back, I added that beautiful paper again, and I think it might be cute to put the Daisy Farm milk container on the back of this card too. So I haven't done that yet, but I think I might before I mail it out. And then this one says fresh milk, and I incorporated both the adorable cow image and the milk and the little milk bottle. And on this one, I paper pieced with that wonderful cow print paper that she included in her paper pack. I just paper pieced the forehead and this little part here of the cow. And I just thought it would be kind of fun to make the cow have that on her. But I tried stamping it for the whole thing, but it was a little too busy for the face to show up. So then I just paper pieced it. And I also paper pieced the little part right here, if you can see. And then I just did the little milk jug with the straw sticking up. And I cut this circle from a die set from My Creative Time. I love this die set. Look at that beautiful scallop edge that's imprinted into these dies. These are the pretty circle layer dies from My Creative Time D267. It's a wonderful set of circles, and they all have that beautiful, beautiful stitching around them. So I use that, and then I also use the My Creative Time pretty scallop layer dies. And these are so much fun, and I love the way that sets off the whole card. And then here's that milk paper in the background, the gray paper with all the milk emblems on it. And I did color the word milk in pink just to pick up on the pink tones of the card. I again added those flowers with the little greeneries at the side just to make the card look look more pretty. So there's that one. And when you open this one, I included the flowers on the inside. I added some pattern paper. I use the XOXO border dies from My Creative Time again. And then this is the back side of this one that I did decorate. This one has that beautiful milk print paper again. And again, I colored in the word milk. And then I put the milk on the back with a little striped straw, which picks up on this. Oh, no, it doesn't. The striped paper's on this one. Anyway, this was a leftover piece of that striped paper, and I made a striped straw with it. So that's that card, and so fun. These little cows are fun. I love this image. I just think she's adorable. If we want to call her Bessie, do we want to call her Bessie? I don't know. And then the last two cards I have to share. This one here uses that beautiful daisy farm bucket. Again, I cut the lid off, and then I stamped the little daisies first, and then I added some greenery in. Some of it's hand drawn, and then some of it uses that little greenery stem stamp from the collection. And then I also stamped the little flower down here. And I did stamp this just on some yellow gingham that I had in my stash, a little scrap piece. And then I stamped out the bow and cut it out and added it to the can too. Here's that beautiful milk paper. I didn't color it this time. And then this again is that beautiful embossed panel using that Honeybee Stamps floral embossing folder. And then I added a little piece of lace going down the center of this card. Inside I stamped a flower. I added more of that. This scallop is from Trinity again, and then I used a little scallop rectangle from Trinity Stamp set on the back with a little flower. So there's one where I did decorate the back. I try to decorate all three sides, but I had so many ideas in my head when I was creating that I didn't finish all of these cards completely yet. So this is my last card, and this one, here's the pretty scallop rectangle frame dies that I used on that pink cow card that I just showed you. Those are from My Creative Time. I used the rectangle frame dies from My Creative Time for a lot of my layers, as well as these XOXO bordered frame dies from My Creative Time. And I'll move this down so you can see it. This is the item number, okay? So, and then for this last card, I also wanted to share that I also used this tiny flower paper pack from IO, and I was just looking for some bright floral paper that I could use on this particular card with the yellow. And I wanted to do something a little brighter for summer, and so this is a paper pad from Impression Obsession that I just love, and it's called the Tiny Flowers Paper Pack. And I use this print right here. So that is what you see on this card. It's this beautiful, bright summer print with some yellow cardstock that's been embossed with that same floral embossing folder from Honeybee Stamps. And then another one of these daisy farm buckets cut out of my scrap yellow gingham. And then I stamped and colored the flowers in all different colors to pick up on the colors in the paper here. I used that Trinity Stamps scallop die to do my background. This is the My Creative Time rectangle frames. It fits perfectly within there. I added some white lace to this one. And then inside I carried over that beautiful paper with the scallop frame die, and I did another little one on the back. So those are all my cards for the Recipe Stamp Club for this month, and I will be sharing these over on the Create It with Adornit page, as well as for Saturday Morning Makes. And I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing them, and I just had so much fun creating everything I've shared today. And so fun to use Anna White's die from Impression Obsession to make all of these cute pumpkin tags and zucchini bread tags too. So pumpkin bread and zucchini bread are in my future. Got to do some baking and share these with my mom. And I have been talking way too long, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. And again, I can't wait to get out to see what everybody is creating. Everyone enjoy your weekend. Choose joy. I know life is hard, and we have to take time to feed our souls by doing things that really take care of our nurturing ourselves so that we have enough energy to give to everybody else. So choose joy, my friends. Many of you have shared things that are going on in your life that are very hard. There's a friend of mine that lost her mom to cancer. Lots of people have left comments recently of loss that they've had, parents that have passed, friends. I know that a friend of mine lost her sister recently, and I send my love out to her. and my friend Nancy. And I just want to say that all of you that are dealing with, Mary Mickelson, and many of you, Susan, lots of you have sick parents, have lost parents, and my heart and prayers are with you all. So everyone, choose joy. Have a wonderful weekend. Try and get out and enjoy that sunshine and get some vitamin D if it's near you, but stay out of the heat too. It's tricky these days, isn't it? All right, I'll be back with you soon. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, bye now.